Hello everyone and welcome to Stitching Ain't Easy. My name is Ashley. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Today I have a home for the gnomes to share with y'all. Technically I guess it's not a home. It's very, very important. I don't know how anyone could live in Normville and not have this thing. Okay, so anywho, if you're new, you're probably like, well, what the heck is a Normville? I appreciate that. Your questions. Thank you. Okay, so Normville is our happy little gnome town that we have. It's a fun place. Magical things happen. I don't know about them, you know. I just let them live here. They're starting to get little businesses and things at this point. Norm is hidden in my videos. Usually it's like a Where's Waldo type thing, but you know, where's Norm, the gnome type situation. And so yeah, he's hidden. Let's see where, oh, I remember where he is. He's up there. So this is a Norm right here. He's super awesome. He is from Kayla at Llama Mama Kayla, and he kind of started this whole gnome phenomenon. Got him started talking to my sweet Angelia about gnome things. It kind of went from there. So yeah. All right. So one of these days I will give y'all a tour of Normville. It officially has a town there for a while, just like the gnome town. He's the mayor, you know. All right. So they named the town after him. It's very exciting. So one of these days I will show you guys all of the town. I've kind of shown you a quick view in a couple of videos. My husband and I were talking. I'm about to outgrow my table. I have this, it's probably a go through by 8-foot table. And I can maybe make 2 more gnome homes before it's like, okay, it's a little overcrowded in there. So and I have ideas for at least 4 more, just like off the top of my head that I can think of, much less anything else. So many more other ones, but just off the top of my head, like the ones that I'm planning on making very, very quickly, 4 more. So that's 4, that's 5, 4 more. So yeah. I either need to make them smaller or figure something out, but that's okay. So because they are starting to have a township and all of those things, they officially have a business that we've discussed. They have the candy shop, Normville candy store, right? Okay. So yeah, so they have the candy shop already. They have a farm in production, so they're like getting fruits and veggies and stuff. They have a creek, so there's like, you know, fresh water. Things are going pretty good for them. So, I mean, next logical step for you, Dewey, right, would be what we all need. Yarn. I mean, I don't know what else. You know, they have food, they have sweets, they have homes. They need yarn. So, okay. I've shown this before and it was on a big sheet still. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I had a comment from my sweet, sweet friend about making the rest of it a parking lot and then putting like gnome mobiles in it, because that's where Norm got his name. It's from the movie Norm the Gnome, and he drives around in a gnome mobile. When I was in high school, my best friend's mom used to call me Norm because I had a 69 Beetle, and she would say that was my gnome mobile, and then I was Norm the Gnome because I'm 4'11", 3/4. I'm gonna rep that 3/4 till it's not there anymore. So yeah, so I was Norm the Gnome. She still to this day, if I see her, she's like, Norm. So he had to be Norm. Had to be. So anywho, yeah, so that's why, all that to say, we had to have this. So I had a couple people have suggestions of names. I love every single one of them. So I've decided y'all can call this whatever you want. This is just gonna be like where you buy your yarn. I had like yarn and Ain't Easy. Like, I don't even remember. I should have looked them all up. There were so many good ones. Oh, I think just Stitching Ain't Easy. Like Ashley's Yarn Shop. There were like several really, really good ones that, darn it, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't look them up. But, so I don't know. It's whatever you guys want to call it. That's what you can call it. How's that? Alright, cool. So, I didn't have a pattern. I didn't make the concrete spot for the gnome mobiles. I should have, but I didn't. So I just made this. I just wanted to make it. I didn't really have a plan for what it looked like. I just wanted to make this kind of look like a bonnet, which is kind of a weird thing to make it want to look, but it seems like it would be really pretty. If it was a bonnet, we have to, the gnomes work with what's around them, right? So, it's supposed to be like a little pretty hat, and then this is just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's SpongeBob's house, heck, I don't know. Anyway, and then on top, because it's the yarn / sewing, it's like also, if you're a seamstress, if you love yarn, this is your place. So, I put little balls of yarn, this is like their, decoration on their roof, little balls of yarn, and a bird made a nest in one, because and then little threads and measuring tape, so that's their pretty little roof. So this is their door. I got to use one of my cool little gnome doors, and they have buttons for their walkway and some pretty flowers. Maybe this lady runs things, maybe she's buying yarn, I don't know, Then I had this from the Hobby Lobby sale, and it was on my yarn bag that I carry around, and the back popped off of it, and it was just like, okay, well, I can still use that, so I just glued it on there so people know, the gnomes know that they have yarn. And then there's scissors and a little needle. Okay, so this is obviously a little, oh, goodness gracious, little mannequin, and then I did the little thimbles and some flowers, just like a pretty little, yard ornament. So there's that there thingy. Some flowers around. These are supposed to be the windows. So there's one window, 2 windows, 3 windows, and then I just put some little pretties around the outside of their store. I did the grass per usual, made the little flowers per usual. All of them have a little, well, not all of them, that one, the first one I made doesn't, but the rest of them all have like little pretty flowers and things. And as I'm doing these, like in a few spots, like here you can tell, like I go through and hot glue like those back so they stand up. And so like I know you can see the plastic right now, but when it sets, you can't see the plastic. So yeah, so this is their yarn store / fabric store. Let's do this. It's not as detailed as the rest of them, but I love the roof. It's like my favorite. I'm a lucky little bird that gets to live there. Okay, so there is their yarn shop all finished. No parking lot for gnome mobiles, but I'm sure eventually they'll have a gnome mobile parking lot. So I was going to do these in 2 separate videos, but it seems silly because they go together. Although this little thing doesn't really set by the yarn shop. It sets down here at the other end, kind of by the creek, because I feel like, well, you'll see. It makes sense. Just a second. But they go together. So after, right, they buy their yarn and their fabric and all their pretties. Obviously, they have to have somewhere to make those things, How lame would that be? Just have to go back inside of their gnome houses. Come on, gnome homes. So I made this little thing, and like I said, I set it by our little creek that I made, the freshwater creek with the mermaids, you know. Anyway, but yeah, so I set this next to the creek so that they have somewhere to crochet or do whatever. They don't need electricity. Yes, there's a sewing machine. Even if it was a foot pedal one, they don't need they don't need any of those things, because once again, it's magical. So they just put their fabric and it sews. I know, isn't that cool? So cool. So, all right. So this I got at Michael's, and this little thing also. Like their summer stuff miniatures for 70% off. And I saw this and was like, oh, that's a whip cart. Oh, that's for yarn. Like, that's what those are. I don't know what this was, like a bar cart, and then I don't know what this one is supposed to be. Maybe like a toy box or something if you were doing like a little kid room in your dollhouse. I don't know, but yeah, I saw whip cart. So yeah, baby. Okay. So I saw, he said whip cart, obviously. Somewhere to put your yarn, obviously. I got these two little chairs. Did I get those? Oh, I got these from Dollar General. These were 50 cents. That's right. And then these thimbles I got, I believe, at Hobby Lobby, because I just thought those were so cool. The little thimbles. So, okay. I used I get it wrong every time. Is it Summer Kiss? I think. I always want to call it Summer Dream. I don't know why. But I used it on here so that way they just like set in a field of lavender, you know, just like live in the dream. And these little pretty flowers all around it. Some of them sparkle from a sweet, sweet friend. And so then the chairs were just plain, also from my sweet, sweet friend. I used some of the flowers she sent and just glued those onto there, and so that way the flowers have pretty backs. Thimbles, I feel like, you know, their feet are gonna get tired, so footstools. This okay, so this sewing machine and these were all in a little packet of buttons. I've had these for a long time. These were my mom's little spools. And there's one right there. Anyway, I've had those for a long time, and I knew that they needed them in here, so obviously this one I wrapped with just a smidge of the black the I Love This Yarn black sparkle yarn. It's like a little bit of it for, you know, just like a little bit of bling and some pretties. And so one of them has some yarn on it, or well, thread, I suppose. It's by the sewing machine. Anyway, and so there's a little sewing machine down there. This, they have an extra button just because, you know, maybe it's a coaster. I don't know. So I put those, glued those down inside, and then put their yarn down inside. So that way they can just work on their project. We can pretend, I guess I could have snipped, I just now had that thought. I could snip like this little part off, and then it could be a crochet hook. Come on. That's probably gonna happen. All right. Anyway, so yeah, this is it. Their little setting by the creek crafting spot in the flowers. Can you imagine just how good it smells? Mercy. So yeah, so I'm so happy I found a little cart and this, and like I said, this is just a button. There's a piece of glue on here that's driving me nuts. It won't come off. There we go. All right, so this is just a button, and I just glued it on there. I glued all of them on there, obviously, but I just glued it upright. And so then it's a sewing machine, you know, like it's supposed to be. So yeah, so let's see if I can do this. Everybody cross your fingers for me. Thank you. Okay. So there. The pretties. One more time. And these all came in that same button pack with those scissors and that needle. They were all in like the they're not, they may be Sewology. I think they are Sewology buttons. I was gonna say they aren't, but I think they are. So, all right. So that way they can be crafty, you know, make things. They're moving on up. It's very exciting. So I officially now still have one more gnome home to show y'all that I haven't completed yet. I mean that I have completed. I have a couple that I want to start working on. One that I need to do because it's gonna be my favorite one. I know that it is. I feel like they need a tea shop, and that's all I'll say about that. So, tea and coffee, you know, things like that, right? Okay. But I have a really, really, really fun idea for that one because, yes. Yeah, I have that. It's, you know, one of those things. Once you start, it's kind of hard stuff. It's like a Lay's potato chip. Make one gnome home. Watch out. So, I'm gonna eat the whole box of gnome homes. Just get ready. Whole bag. So yeah. Before long, I will come back and show you guys the other one that I have, and probably by the time I show y'all that one, I'll have 2 more done. It'll be like this one. That'll be alright, because then I'll have more things to share with you guys. So, alright. Thank you all so very much for watching A Home for the Gnomes. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderfully, wonderfully blessed day. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you all very soon.